In the 24/7 hustle of notifications, deadlines, meetings, when was the last time you truly experienced silence? Today we're diving into how silence, something very simple, can really have a positive impact on your life personally. I used to think that silence, inner peace, all this stuff that we hear nowadays was reserved for monks in monasteries who would practice for hours upon hours upon hours, because that was the central thing that they were focusing on, right? It's strange because you may be someone who's quite young like me, but who's grown up surrounded by technology. Technology has almost been a very close friend for you. Like I've mentioned before, video games, YouTube, Netflix, all these different mediums to keep us entertained, powered by technology. So it's very difficult to demonize technologies because of all those memories you've created. Let's say you're playing on the PlayStation with your friends, right? I've had countless memories of that. It's very difficult to break from it. But I want you to understand that technology is always playing a key role around us, but we always feel tempted to just get sucked in. Before you wonder if I'm asking you to just drop everything on a dime, I'm going to give you a couple of strategies to cultivate silence very gradually in your everyday lives. And really, it's all about creating small changes that help us build this practice of silence, this culture of appreciation and being mindful and grateful. I'm not saying you can be a monk in a month. There are ways in which you can be more mindful of your day-to-day routine and avoid getting into a Groundhog Day slump. The main thing is just, again, feeling grateful and feeling mindful of what's going on around you and being in touch with yourself and taking a step back to assess things and how your life is going is really an important practice. There is science to this. Just a couple of minutes on intentional silence can reduce particular stress markers. Think about it. Just taking a couple of minutes out of your day to better focus, have less stress, a clearer perspective on what's troubling you. Let's talk micro changes. As the name suggests, micro changes are very small things that we can do. And number one is just take a short walk, tech-free. No phone. However, if you're someone who's pretty socially anxious or you just want to block out the noise, then use noise cancelling headphones. This is something that I'm doing myself now. And another thing is when you're walking, just notice that sensation. It's such an unconscious thing that we do. It's very easy to forget that feeling of being able to take a single step. So what I would say is just each step that you take, just take it slow, take it deliberate. And just understand how it feels, the pressure on your foot, how your body responds, the fact that you're moving forward. Just notice these different things. This silent tech-free walk can be perfect when you're walking between lecture rooms. However, if you're online, like I am right now, at home for university or for work, between meetings and lectures and seminars, stand up, take a break from your workspace, be mindful of the exact moment that you're in. We only live in the present, and it's very important to take those little moments in our day, which we often take for granted, just to cultivate that extra feeling of silence and solitude. Even just taking a quick walk around your house can do wonders. Another practice is journaling. This is a very popular practice that a lot of people are doing now. I personally have been journaling for 2 years, and I think it's been quite helpful. One thing that you'll notice is, for someone who's not tried it before, it's very, very easy to keep things bottled up in your head. Our mind is brilliant for creating ideas and linking between different ideas and themes and topics. It's not great for keeping loads of information inside. And that's why you need places to get that out. Now, a lot of people do gratitude journaling where they write down 3 things that they're grateful for. That is a good way to easily get gratitude practices into your day. Another thing that people do is stream of consciousness where they just write until their hand starts hurt. You don't have to go as extreme as that. Just start with something. And you'll find that consistently emptying your mind will free your thoughts up later down the line. And if you're craving an even deeper dive into focus and flow, there are brilliant guides out there. Deep Work by Cal Newport is a brilliant read, especially if you're trying to get used to the ways of working with email chains and instant communication messaging apps. A book like Deep Work is brilliant to help slowly cultivate those practices. So I definitely recommend picking that up. And I'd say it's a game changer, especially for young professionals in a corporate world where different to uni and different to school, there's a lot more pressure on our time because we're being monetized for it. You know, the time that we put in is directly linked in a lot of cases to the monetary value that we get out of it. If there's one thing you can take away from this episode and this video, it's that silence is not a grand gesture, right? It's small micro doses of individual well-being that you can cultivate day by day, week by week, month by month. And it's so easy to fit in as well in your day-to-day life. So the barrier to introducing these practices is lower than it ever will be. So, for example, when you wake up, instead of rushing for your phone, perhaps move your phone so far away from your bed instead of scrolling before you even got out of bed, which puts you in a very negative state for the rest of the day. Think about even a quiet moment when you're eating or when you're drinking your morning coffee. If you are going into work and you're on the train, focus on your breathing, because when you're taking a breath, no one can actually judge what you're doing with your breathing, unless you're one of those people who are just loud breathing, you're hyperventilating kind of thing. Breathing in through your nose to the count of 4, and then breathing out to the count of 4. You won't see results straight away, but the 100th, 1000th time you do it, you'll start to subconsciously feel a lot better. And you'll thank yourself for doing so. Now I'm curious, do let me know what you think about this topic. And finally, if you're finding this valuable, consider subscribing or following me, and let's keep this conversation going. Here's to finding our quiet place in the world and finding our calm within the chaos. Let's continue to evolve every day, no matter how big or small the step.